But if you look at the base of the floating island, it's purple, it's kind of pink. This was 100% made by the cube. In fact, if you guys go down here, you can see like almost a whirlpool forming. And what happens if you're playing the game and you go down here, your glider will pop open and you'll actually fly up. So even if you're down there, you can get up to the Sky Island by just walking into the wind, essentially. You don't have to build up to the Sky Island using your glider. And one really cool thing about this is if you killed everybody here, you could use your glider, glide over to Tilted Towers, you could glide over to Paradise Palms, pretty much anywhere you want to. Now, I know this one is the most obvious. Not a whole lot has changed other than the fact that it's floating. So I guess you could say it's a pretty big change. And if you just kind of look at it, it's epic. There's a whole lot of rocks that have opened up near it. And I have a theory that Fortnite is really planning on doing some underground tunnels, maybe throughout Season 6 map changes, or they're waiting until Season 7. And the reason being, I will show you guys here in a second why I'm saying that, but there's a lot of new secret locations, so please don't go anywhere in the video if you guys are watching right now. Now, the other new and obvious location is this giant-looking castle that is right near one of my favorite places to drop, Haunted Hills. I love dropping Haunted Hills. I think it's such a fun place to drop, and now there's even more of a reason because we have this giant looking area. I mean, just look at this thing. It's extremely Halloween themed, and it just overall looks amazing. Now, I don't know how much loot you guys are gonna find here. I'm sure there's gonna be a decent amount. Looks like there's a chest in this corner tower over here, but it doesn't seem to be anything crazy or substantial, which I guess is kind of a good or bad thing. And there's also a chest down here. But this is going to be really fun for some Fortnite playground minigames. I can already think of like a King of the Hill or King of the Castle type minigame with this giant mansion or castle. I haven't really decided what it is, but I think it looks more like a castle than it looks like a mansion, to be honest. Either way, it's super awesome, but still not the coolest thing that has come out of Season 6. So where we're going right now, in my opinion, is the coolest thing about the update. Oh, and I should probably briefly mention that on the map, you're going to start to see these new corrupted areas. And they're awesome because they can spawn anywhere from 1 to 3 chests, which is really great if you're trying to complete the chest challenge or just get some loot. And there are going to be things called shadow stones here. And when you consume them, it's kind of like hop rocks from Season 4. If you guys remember them, they made you jump really high and far and you didn't take fall damage. But they do something a little bit different. As the name states, shadow stones actually make you go completely invisible if you stand still. And you can actually walk through walls and they make you faster. They're pretty awesome, but they're only in these specified corrupted areas, which are throughout the map. If you just kind of fly high, like you can see one out in the distance right here. I'm trying to zoom in for it for you guys, but there's one right here. There's another one right next to Salty Springs. They're kind of all over the place. And yep, look, there's even one right over here next to Retail Row and in between Paradise Palms. And of course, another one here in Wailing Woods. I should also mention something that is kind of sad to me and maybe to you guys as well. But stoneheads are no longer in the game. Rifts are still in the game though, which is awesome, but there's no longer stoneheads. They were kind of replaced by corrupted areas. Stoneheads were awesome because they had rifts, they had a couple of chests, you could get 100 brick for some easy materials, but now they are no longer in the game. RIP stoneheads, you will be missed. But the coolest changes, in my opinion, about the new season is what I'm about to show you guys right now, which is right here in our backyard of Wailing Woods. So there's a few new cabins, which there isn't anything exceptionally special about these places. Now, they are really cool to see, and I enjoy these kinds of places, but if you break this right here, this is the secret part. If you break this wardrobe, and of course the wall behind it, you will go to this secret area. Now, we are not able to go into it right now, but this 100% will connect you all the way to the Dusty Divot. If you guys remember what the Dusty Divot looks like, this is the same exact tunnels in the Dusty Divot, which is awesome. That is why I'm feeling like Fortnite is going to be doing something with underground tunnels or an underground map, like a labyrinth or something, or even a maze would be awesome. And I think everybody who is watching this video right now would love something like that to happen. I personally would, because underground battles and tunnels would be so much fun. Now, there's even is there another, wait, is there 2 corrupted areas in Wailing Woods? No, okay, there's just 1 corrupted area. I was about to say that's too many corrupted areas. But if you go over here to this log house, there's once again, well, another log house. You know, you got a decent amount of loot, nothing crazy. There is a underground area if you break the floor, but there is no secret tunnel or anything like that, like there is in the previous cabin that I showed you guys. Now, if we keep going on, I do believe there is another cabin somewhere nearby where I would like to show you guys. Found it. So it's kind of a big guy over here in Wailing Woods. Now, I think the smaller cabin is the coolest because it has that secret tunnel, which is hinting at some big things that could happen here soon in Fortnite and the map changes. But this is also really interesting. If you look at this right here, there is a teddy bear on a stool upside down facing the corner of the wall. Does this mean that the map is going to get flipped upside down or something? I personally have no idea, but I do find it very interesting that we are seeing some kind of weird reverse gravity stuff over here in Wailing Woods. And if you keep going, look at the changes that have been made to the maze part of Wailing Woods. It's actually awesome. If you guys go down here now, you break the stone and there's an elevator and you keep going and boom, look at it. It's like a secret base now under the maze near Wailing Woods. And it doesn't stop here. Like, you can keep going down. And if you see this tunnel again, see, now this is either going to connect to the Dusty Divot or this would connect to the other cabin that we saw in Wailing Woods. I feel like it would connect to Dusty Divot. I mean, it's the same exact tunnel system. Who knows? And there's also a rift down here, which I just now found out. That is so cool. It looks like scientists are working on a rift machine. This is really cool. It's kind of like a laboratory or something like that. And I think this is as low as we can go. But look at all these different tunnels that lead to, well, they don't right now lead to anything, but in the future, you know these are going to lead to some really cool areas. I've got my speculations and my theories. If you guys have any theories, I want you guys to comment them down below and help me out over here. But these are just some really cool changes that have been made to Wailing Woods. Wailing Woods is an underrated place to drop, and I think a lot more people are going to drop here now. In fact, this would actually be a really fun place to do like a hide and seek or a freeze tag. But check it out, dude. This laboratory is sick. Oh my gosh, look, there's even a picture of the old Dusty Depot. Rip Dusty Depot, man. You are missed, and you are missed dearly. It's kind of crazy, though. There's like teddy bears in this laboratory. There's like a little very interesting area. There's another wardrobe over here, too. And I was trying to see if I could go underground and see if there's anything else, but there's nothing. I don't think there's anything else below here. Like, you can't go down anymore, and you also can't go through these tunnels, so you're kind of stuck where you are. Either way, some really awesome changes that I think were much needed for Wailing Woods. Wailing Woods did need a lot of love, and I feel like it's finally getting a little bit of it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think this is new. But this is also interesting if it is new. I just, for some reason, don't remember this, although I could be going a little bit crazy on the inside. But onto certain things I do know have changed. If we go ahead and head over to Fatal Fields, there are some small changes in Fatal Fields, nothing too crazy. There's now corn, oh, and if you fly through it, oh, that's kind of cool. Look, it shows the animation of you breaking the corn. So, yeah, there's now corn at Fatal Fields. So if you want some corn, or if you're just a corn kind of gal or guy, well, then head over to Fatal Fields. Got all your corn-given needs. And of course, it's got a beautiful corrupted area. And whenever you go in these corrupted areas, it's got like the awesome, you know, purplish effect where the cube once was, which I think is awesome. I really didn't do enough stuff with the cube like I wanted to, but I think the cube is awesome. I'm also surprised that they kept the Viking area. I really thought that they were going to change this out. In fact, when I first saw the season changes of the map, I thought that the Haunted Mansion over here in Haunted Hills was actually right over here on the Dwarvish Viking area, but I guess not. And the one other thing I wanted to show you guys, if you look at the villain base where the missile launched, it's kind of all broken and damaged now. It's in shambles and in pieces, which is really sad because I thought the superhero and villain aspect of Fortnite in Season 4 was really fun. I don't know if you guys enjoyed it personally. I would like to get your comments and your feedback though on what was your favorite season so far in Fortnite. Season 6, I know it's brand new, so I can't say anything about it yet. I feel like I gotta let it kind of sink in for me, you know? If I say it's like super awesome right now, I'm probably gonna regret it later, but I do find it to be really interesting so far, and I like the changes that I have seen personally. I also don't know if this was always here. This is a really small change, but if you go over here, there's just a little 1x1 shack, but it's got a lot of chests inside of it. It's kind of like a secret shack that I don't think anybody knows of right now. And then I know I just showed you guys the villains base, but I want to show you guys the heroes base as well. Now we're heading over to the heroes base, which of course is on the opposite side of the map. You can't have the heroes and the villains being right next to each other. It is also kind of in shambles, and it's torn up. If you look at it, it's all like broken and damaged. It's overgrown, and it's really sad. It's like the heroes and the villains of Fortnite have left this world and have gone to a new, and maybe they'll make a return, maybe they won't. I will say right now, I think my favorite season of Fortnite, and it's really hard to say, to be honest, it might have been Season 4, although I will say this, Season 6 is one of my favorites thus far. I did enjoy Season 5. I don't think it was as fun as Season 4. I mean, I love Paradise Palms. I think it was a great change. ATKs were kind of cool, but there was something about it that didn't make it feel as much like Fortnite as the previous updates did. And I feel like Season 6 has really made it feel a whole lot more like Fortnite with the cube and all the other things going on. And I don't know if these little shacks are new, but there's another 1x1 shack over here, which also has a chest. And that makes me believe that somewhere on the map, there's going to be another 1x1 that is made out of brick and probably has a couple of chests in it as well. Although I'm not quite sure where it is, but it's probably somewhere here near the edge of the map. Now, I want you guys to comment down below as well what you guys think of the new map changes here in Season 6. Also, let me know anything that you guys think that should be changed in future updates. I mean, I really think that we could do without some places here in Fortnite. Not that I'm hating on any place in particular. Greasy Grove. Oh, and look at this. Right here, there's the 1x1 made out of brick, which it's really funny. So if you guys notice, the 1x1 made out of wood had one chest. The 1x1 out of brick had two chests, or the 1x1 made out of metal had three chests, which is really, really awesome. So I'm digging the new map changes for Season 6, but I seriously would love your feedback and to get what you guys are thinking about it right now. You know, with the water and how slow it makes you, it kind of made it for a boring area to have battles, but now that there's this giant floating